What would you think if the same man who invented your breakfast cereal also believed that yogurt enemas could save your soul? What if that same man, a doctor, a preacher, a dietary prophet, claimed that spicy food and sexual thoughts would ruin your health and tried to build a sanitarium to cleanse you of both? This is the deeply strange, deeply real story of Dr. John Harvey Kellogg, his infamous Battle Creek Sanitarium, and how one man's war on desire, digestion, and disease helped shape modern American health in ways we're still unpacking today. This is Dr. Pox, and today's tale is not for the faint of stomach. Born in 1852, Kellogg was raised in a household steeped in Seventh-day Adventism, a Christian denomination that preached the sanctity of the body and the evils of indulgence. Even as a child, Kellogg was obsessed with cleanliness, purity, and morality. He later studied medicine, but unlike many of his peers, he didn't enter private practice or work in a hospital. Instead, he saw himself as a health missionary, a savior of bodies and souls. In 1876, at just 24 years old, Kellogg took over the Western Health Reform Institute and transformed it into the Battle Creek Sanitarium, a temple of health that promised not just to treat illness, but to eradicate sin through science. And so began a reign of enemas, bizarre contraptions, and flavorless food that would last for over half a century. At its height, Battle Creek Sanitarium was massive. A 30-acre campus, 9 stories high, housing thousands of patients, hundreds of staff, a post office, a greenhouse, a full orchestra, and even its own publishing house. It looked like a luxury resort, but what went on inside was something else entirely. Patients, including celebrities like Amelia Earhart, Henry Ford, and Thomas Edison, submitted to a rigid routine. Multiple daily enemas, sometimes involving quarts of yogurt, inserted both orally and rectally. Hydrotherapy, including ice baths, steam rooms, and high-pressure water jets targeted at sensitive areas. Mechanical massage machines to jiggle your body into better health. Electrotherapy machines, some with paddle-like electrodes that stimulated various body parts. Colon cleansing chairs, rotating beds, light therapy rooms, and vibration platforms. You weren't just checked in, you were scrubbed, zapped, and purged from the inside out. Dr. Kellogg invented cornflakes, but not for your morning pleasure. He invented them to stop you from touching yourself. Kellogg believed that sexual activity, especially self-pleasure, was the root of nearly all disease. He claimed it caused blurred vision, heart disease, epilepsy, and even cancer. His proposed cures? Cold showers, friction-free undergarments, circumcision without anesthesia for boys, and for girls, the application of carbolic acid to the genitalia. But his most famous tool was bland food. No spices, no meat, no excitement, just flavorless, starchy meals to dampen the libido. Cornflakes were born from this ideology, originally served at the sanitarium as a tasteless, temperance-friendly cereal. But his brother, Will Keith Kellogg, saw the commercial potential. Will added sugar. John was furious. Their fight led to lawsuits, heartbreak, and an eventual corporate empire, one that buried the cereal's deeply puritanical roots under smiling cartoon mascots. Here's the twist. Not everything Kellogg did was nonsense. He was ahead of his time in some ways. He promoted plant-based diets long before they were trendy, advocated for clean water, exercise, sunlight, and hygiene, opposed alcohol and tobacco in an era when doctors actually prescribed them, encouraged preventative medicine when most treatment was reactive. But his fanaticism often pushed these ideas to dangerous extremes. For example, fasting therapies that led to malnourishment, frequent enemas that disrupted gut flora, sexual repression treatments that caused lasting trauma, and a lack of traditional medical care for seriously ill patients. He viewed mental illness through a moral lens, often blaming character defects rather than biology. This made the sanitarium a place of both hope and harm, where some found relief and others humiliation. Perhaps the most disturbing part of Kellogg's career was his support for eugenics, the belief that human breeding should be controlled to improve society. He believed that degenerates, the poor, the disabled, and non-white populations posed a threat to public health and should be sterilized or segregated. In 1914, he founded the Race Betterment Foundation, hosting national conferences that pushed ideas later echoed in Nazi Germany. Though he distanced himself from the more violent aspects of eugenics, his name and voice were central to its spread in America. It's a chilling reminder that the wellness industry, even when dressed in white coats and leafy salads, can carry profound moral dangers. In 1902, a massive fire destroyed the original sanitarium building. Kellogg rebuilt it, bigger and grander, but the cracks had started to show. By the 1920s and 30s, his brother's cereal company had eclipsed him. Modern medicine was shifting away from moralistic health crusades, and the Great Depression dried up funds. The sanitarium filed for bankruptcy in 1933. It was bought by the U.S. government and converted into a military hospital. Dr. Kellogg died in 1943 at the age of 91, still preaching the dangers of passion and praising the power of clean intestines. Dr. John Harvey Kellogg believed he was fighting for purity, but in that fight he built an empire on repression, control, and pseudoscience disguised as progress. He gave the world cornflakes, yes, but he also gave it yogurt enemas, racial ideology, and a generation of patients who were taught that their desires were diseases. His story is a powerful reminder. Sometimes the strangest chapters in medical history aren't just strange, they're deeply human. A mix of good intentions, flawed logic, and terrifying consequences. So next time you bite into that innocent flake of cereal, remember the empire it came from. This has been Dr. Pox, your guide to the twisted, tragic, and truly bizarre world of medical history. Stay curious, but not too curious. Dr. Kellogg wouldn't approve. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like, follow, subscribe, and share with your friends for more medical madness. Because truth is stranger than fiction.